Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nobody Asked Me Guy show. God, listen, this is a great show. We have with us none other than Miss Ramona Smart, Mrs. Ramona Smart, born and held in Oakland, California. Phenomenal mom here with us. You guys are well familiar with my book, Mothers in Their Sin, an introspective look at mothers rearing their sons. But tonight, we will be talking with Mrs. Smart about children and children in general. And so many of you mothers out there understand very well how ungrateful children can be many times. And we know that moms are so important. And you see in athletic events, everything you see, every place you see, everywhere you go, people saying, "Hi, mom," this, that, and the third. Now, as you guys know, last week we had on our show none other than the forever dad, Mr. Guy Bryant. Now, Mr. Bryant is a foster parent who has helped to rear more than 50 young men and women over a 12-year span. Now, can you imagine? And he had Romario that was on there with him. And for those of you that saw that documentary on Good Morning America, you see how proud and happy those children were just to know Mr. Bryant, etc. So now, unfortunately, today we are talking with a mom who has five children, and whom, unfortunately, some of them are just not don't understand how blessed they are to have a mom that's staying, hanging in there with them, etc. And we just had to show it. I'll repeat myself just last week about all of these foster young men and women that were just so proud to have a parent. And now here we have young people that have a parent that bends over backwards to try to do the best that she can. Now, as we introduce Mrs. Smart, let me just share with you guys, from time to time, Murphy's Law occurs. We have computer glitches, and our camera, for some reason, is not cooperating with Mrs. Smart right now. So we're going to get the show started as we try to work out these bugs. And I do want you to understand that I do have a tape queued up that I may play later, and so I have to give you a precursor. I do not have the rights to the song in and of itself. It's called Dear Mama by Tupac Shakur. I'm sure all of my young listeners are aware of Tupac, even if the older guys are not. So without further ado, let us introduce this evening, Mrs. Ramona Smart. Good evening. Ms. Smart, can you hear me?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, listen,
I'm
as
doing
I
just
said,
great.
I have
Okay.
already alerted our audience that we're having difficulty with our camera right now. However, we're going to move forward in the show as we try to work out these bugs and glitches. So, Ms. Smart, if you will, if you would tell our audience a little bit about Ramona Smart and who you are and what you do, and if you share a little bit of that with us, please.
Yes, I'm a mother of five, four birth kids and one foster son, which I've had him since the ninth grade. He lived with a family who abused him and neglected him, made him sleep outside, and I, rescued him, and he's been mine ever since. And then I have three sons and one daughter, and I communicate with just one son and the foster son. And I do in home care. I was working for the state for 13 years. Um, got harassed by them for 6.5 years, where they kind of like exited me. I'm staying strong and positive, and I lost a lot of family members where I'm still staying strong. It puts me sad, but I keep my head up and try and stay strong. I continue to work. I have 13 grandbabies. I tend to them as best as I can, dealing with degenerate back disorder along the way, and staying positive and continuing to work. I'm not letting it make me fail, but I have days where I just don't want to go. But I keep forward. And I'm kind of proud of myself. I know this is not part of the interview or the conversation, but out of all the things I've been going through, I'm not on drugs. I'm not an alcoholic, and I don't, run the streets. So I'm kind of proud of myself for all the stuff that I'm going
Well, you
through.
know what, Ms. Smart, you should be proud of yourself because we know that life comes with a lot of challenges, and unfortunately, so many times people are ungrateful. And as you alluded to earlier, you've lost and let us offer our condolences again. I know that your mom has gone to sleep, your sister and brother are also asleep, and you pretty much are an only child at this point after having grown up with two
Yes,
siblings and that kind of thing. And now, Mrs. Smart, you mentioned having four biological children and one child of whom you received from foster care is because you wanted to help that young person and to help them have a better life. But in our ensuing conversation, you and I talked briefly, and might I say to our listening audience, it was a very summering call for me. It was a very sad conversation for me because we unfortunately, Ms. Smart was sharing some information with us. Sometimes the children are just not appreciative. Mrs. Smart, would you like to address that?
yes. I have an older son where I've been such a supportive mom, but I don't get the credit, and I'm not trying to get credit for the things that I've done for my kids. But I have an older son where he wasn't appreciative. He had uh, a baby's mother where I keep in touch with all my grandbabies because I love them. Now, when I lost my sister and my nephew, I lost my sister December 26th, day after Christmas, and she had a heart attack. And the very next day, her son was shot. So I lost two siblings very close to me, back to back. And it was December 2015. So January 2016, we had a two casket funeral, and very devastating to me. I love my sister, I love my nephew. It was her son, and um, so my daughter-in-law, I call her my daughter-in-law, is too much to be going baby's mama. So she sent for me to come to LA and have a relaxed time, to get away time. She thinks that much of me, and I call her my daughter. And so my son calls me and never says, "Mom, how you doing?" or anything. He goes, "Where you at?" I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm telling him about my grandson, how well he's doing. He plays the instrument, clarinet, and he's doing well in school. And he goes, "Well, why are you there?" And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm trying to tell him, look, you're out right there. You're living your life. You're doing good. Continue doing that. And he goes, "Well, you don't ever have to worry about me calling you." So I pull the phone from my face and I look at it and I just go click, and I haven't talked to him since, 2016. And then I have a middle son. Um, he's on the other side of town, about 20 minutes away from me. And only time I see him is when I make an effort to go and see him, you know. And I always get them gifts and things like that. But with my illness of stress, depression, and anxiety and degenerate back disorder, it's hard for me to get things done. So I have like gangs of presents for them that I do. So, but I do talk to him over the phone, when I call. Then I have a foster son, and he contacts me every month. He's the only one who makes an effort to contact me first. And then I have a son that I lives in the house with me. Okay, well, there was a moment where I had pneumonia, and I was the first set of medicine didn't work for me, so they told me I need to rest. So the first place that we were living together, um, I was bed rest for 3 to 4 days. And he says, "Oh, Mom, I didn't know you were sick. I saw your car outside, but it didn't move." But never once did he walk from downstairs to upstairs to see about me. Um, and now we live in a different address, and now he's living with me again. And he tells his kids don't come around me or don't come in my room, which is really sad. And Mother's Day just passed. Never once did he say Happy Mother's Day or even give me a piece of paper that even was written on it says, "Hey, Mom." Nothing, which is really sad. And that child, you have to tell him to clean up, let the babies take a shower. It is really sad things that goes on here right now. That child, I have a daughter who ruled me out of her life um, because her dad has poisoned her mind against me. I've supported her totally. There was a moment where she was working at this one place and at a job, and she got off like after 10:30, and she asked me if I'd give her a ride. And come to find out that she was telling someone at her job that she doesn't like her mom, she doesn't care for her, she doesn't get along with her, but I'm coming to pick her up every night, on her shift. So when I find out, I tell her, I says, well, we talk, and she's happy when she sees me. At least I thought. But now, once I find out this information, I asked her when I get ready to drop her off at home. I says, "You know what? I'm not mad at you, but I'm kind of disappointed." I says, "If I had known that you don't like me or don't care for me, I wish you had told me, but other than people at your job." And she goes, "Well, that would come from only two people." And I'm saying to myself, wow, that's a slap in the face, because now I know you told two people that. And she asked me who told her that. I said, "It doesn't matter who it was, it's the fact that you said this." So I'm estranged from my daughter. She doesn't talk to me. I haven't seen her, didn't know where she lived until someone from Rent a Center called my house, called my phone, and they asked me, did I know her? And I said, "Well, yes, it's my daughter." They says, "Well, do you know her phone number?" I said, "No." They says, "Well, do you know anything about her? She's reliable." I says, "Well, you know what? My daughter has kicked me out of her life." I said, "I love her very dearly, and I wish I had a relationship with her." Um, and they says, "Well, we don't need to talk to you." I says, "Well, okay, but if you do talk to my daughter, tell her, just appreciate her mom and love on her and call her." I'm telling the people, some strangers. And then I says, "By the way, where are you calling me from?" They said, "South Carolina." I said, "Oh, now I know where she lives," because I didn't know where she lived. But prior to that, um, I I saw her on Facebook, and I seen her say, "Oh, yay, I'm getting ready to move." And I can't remember where she was saying that she was going to move. So, me, I don't know about Facebook. I get on Facebook once a month, once every other month, once every 3 months. So, when it says comment, I think that says do a comment. I didn't know you have a personal site for comments to just that person. So, I pushed the comment and I says, "Hey, girly." I call her girly. I got a nickname for all my kids. I love them. And I says, "I'm so happy for you." I said, "Mom loves you." I says, "If whatever's going on with our relationship, is there any way for us to fix it?" Oh, she blew up. She said, "How dare I put her business public?" And so she started saying nasty things to me. And then she got on Facebook and sent another message and saying that I'm a horrible mom. I don't love nobody but the boys and the dad. And I'm like, that is so untrue, because yeah, I love you differently because you're a girl. You're my only girl. I thought you were going to be my little buddy, my little, mini me, because, everything was boys, 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 boys. You have four boys, and then finally you have that girl, that's special to your heart, and I love her with my heart. I love all my kids, of course, but the treatment I get,
Mrs.
yeah,
Smart, when you as you share these things with us and with our audience, by the way,
yeah.
and I have to be honest with you, there are a lot of sad faces going up right now on my other monitors, and I can certainly attest as to why. And you know, we started to show off, as I told you, and I told our audience, is that I'm baffled when we have make negative aspersions about our moms. I honestly, you know, as an old principal and work, a young man that works with kids all the time, I don't think children understand that they really are talking about themselves when they disparage their parents, especially those parents that have been there for them, have done things of which I know that you have, and things that we have talked about. Now, let me ask this question as we move forward. Have you reached out to a support group or possibly family counseling, family referencing, anything of that nature?
Well, I've been kind of overwhelmed with all the multiple things that have been set upon me. I was working for a job for 13 years and I had a manager harass me for 6.5 years. So dealing with just making myself get to work and performing and having someone harass you and you're going to a psychiatrist, you're going to counseling, you're going to pain management because I have degenerate back disorder. And upon all of that, I'm just trying to function. I'm just trying to make sure my bills are paid. My mom taught us to pay your bills. So I've always had 2 and 3 jobs. I've always made sure, our household was everything paid. I had a husband, yes, for 34 years, and he, misled me with our household. He was in control of all the bills, and we had things cut off all the time. So I got fed up. I taken everything from him and I handled it. So I handled it with charm. The mortgage was paid. We had bought a house. The SMUD, PG&E, phone bill was all paid. Cable, everything's paid on time. And I actually paid it so good that 2 of the bills were paid double. I get the bill and it says zero, and I'm baffled. But you know, um, I I didn't pay attention to me. I paid attention to him, my husband. I paid attention to the kids. I paid attention to the bills, the house maintenance, constantly, and forgot about me. And I end up having a breakdown because I overworked myself and exhausted myself, you know. And I'm really confused with the medical system. I went to counseling for the things that was being done to me, like the harassment, and no one helped me. Medical didn't help me, HR didn't help me, the CEOs at the job didn't help me. To contact the attorney general, they didn't help me. They just telling me, "Oh, well, you need to change jobs." Well, you're so devastated and stressed out with everything. You just barely can pronounce your name, or remember your name. It's just everything was so overwhelming that was going on. I was just like a robot, just making sure I get everything done because it needed to be done. It I did reach out for a lot of help, and it really um, surprised me because I have degenerate back disorder from the back of my spine to my neck to my tailbone. I have the no cartilage. So I'm in pain 24/7, 365, and they take away my medication because the doctor says I don't believe in medicine. And I asked him, "Am I getting well?" So it's baffling for how they treated me, which made me more deeper into the depression. It put me in such a depression, all my hair fell out. I had hair 14 inches long, and I'm looking like Steve Harvey, and I tell people that, and they go, no, and I'm like, yeah. And they goes, they think I have a little fuzz of hair on my head. No, I have none. It's like a baby's butt. So if they don't get the Steve Harvey, it's like a baby butt. Okay. And so now I wear alternative wigs, which is new to me. I don't even know how to wear them right. LOL. But and sometimes you catch me giggling and laughing. I have to do that not to cry because it hurts me so bad, but I keep it moving, because nobody's a doctor, nobody's curing me. And I don't look for sympathy anywhere, but I just keep it moving because, I'm my only supporter. So I just keep it moving. And, and if you did dip into something that would cover it up, when you wake up, it's still there. So why do it?
Absolutely. And
Why try to change it?
really smart in the midst of the sad faces and the thumbs up that are going up, and a lot of people are sending up a lot of hearts. We have David, David, feel free to grab on these cameras and FaceTime Mrs. Smart. Although her camera is acting up right now, and we're having glitches to get her. We certainly want to be able to see Mrs. Smart, but we're trying to get her on, trying to get the camera to act correct. But Mrs. Smart, David is asking from Seattle, Washington. And he is saying, in his opinion, you are certainly a strong woman. And he's saying, why, uh, as I'm trying, he's I can tell he's very frustrated because he's saying he cannot understand why your kids would be so distant and treat you so horribly. And I don't know that Dave is looking for an answer, but I just want to share with you that you certainly have a lot of people on the show tonight that are sympathizing and empathizing with you. And I would ask you, please, to share now that unfortunately, not only has your mom passed away, your brother and your
Yeah.
sister,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
are
I do.
there friends in your immediate area that you can talk to, that you can confide in, that might possibly just kind of be there every now and then for you to vent and to breathe while you continue to seek assistance.
Yes, sometimes you have certain friends, and like they say, friends are seasonal. You have friends that you can talk to about, work or clothes or, hardship or, kids. And you learn as you talk to them because you got some of them saying, oh, I would do this and I would do that, or you should do this and you should do that. Well, sometimes you only need a shoulder for someone to listen. You don't need someone advising you because some of the things that they say, and some of my friends, which I've learned, and you got to pick and choose the ones that you really listen to because some tells you things that is out of your character, which is not things that you will do to your family. So, then I have to choose the friends that I can talk to that will listen to what's going on with me because you have friends telling you, oh girl, I wouldn't do this and I would do that. And well, come on now, if you're my friend, you're not going to tell me things that's unrealistic and family oriented to do to my family, because then you have things going on with your family, and you got choices that that would be right. So
Speaking of that, Mrs. Smart, let me ask you this because I certainly don't want us to forget this point and cutting in because when you said that, you segued right to our next question. And our next question is you mentioned to me prior to this broadcast that you would love the opportunity to be able to visit high schools and middle schools and talk to young women. Will you expound on that a little bit?
I'm sorry.
You mentioned that
Yes,
you love to have
yes,
the opportunity to
yes,
be able to address young women, young potential mothers, young girls in high school, young girls in middle school, about just how to address life and how to carry themselves and how to move forward. Would you like to share a little bit of that with us?
yes. I've had that, yearning to do years ago. I would say as far as about 5, 6 years ago, I the things that I've gone through and the things and the values that I have in life and the things I see that young kids are missing and don't understand and don't really the schools are not teaching them home economics anymore, which give them values to life bearing, life just living, because every parent doesn't have a book to raise you. So some of the kids, their hygiene, their appearance, their focus, you know, I wanted to express some of that to them and just pull them in an auditorium like all the girls. It wouldn't have to be all the ages. It's just all the females to let them know the values and of life and life bearing just things that some of the young mothers is not teaching them. And because you got some young girls that is angry with their moms or don't want to listen to their mom because they see their mom's lifestyle, but then they got to have self respect for themselves, despite of what their mother is going through because they don't know, and then there's sometimes when the child needs to know when to talk to their parent, because they shouldn't be afraid to talk to their parent. You got a lot of kids afraid to talk to their parent or a lot of kids who don't want to talk to their parents. So I wanted to express to them, different subjects of credit, um, dressing, hygiene, and boys, not to listen to those lines they have. Some of the things like I used to live with my dad in my senior year, but I used to go and live with him every summer, and then I lived with my mom. So I was on the bus a lot, and you got a lot of people trying to throw lines at you and little scripts at you. And if I was weak minded, I would have fell for them. And just because someone smile at you or give you a compliment don't mean you got to fall for it or follow them. And so some of these young girls, and when you don't get it at home or you don't get it from your mom or your dad, because you got a lot of young girls who don't have dads, but then you got a lot of young girls who have moms who don't have leadership. So it's like, come on, I want you to be strong. I want you to be positive, focus on your education because it is number one. We're going through a virus and a crucial period right now, but they still got to focus and they got to be strong, and they got to support their family, their siblings, and themselves. So this is one of the things I wanted to do. I never made an effort to do it.
Yes. You know, as you talk about effort and as you see the things that you want to do as far as addressing the young ladies and helping them to develop mentally, and I'll use the word spiritually and that kind of thing. I want to suggest that, as you and I both are talking, is that you pursue that. I want to suggest that we look at some. I want to suggest that we look at some because certainly, and we all should understand that pain is real. Even though it's just a four alphabet word, it's a four-letter word, pain is extremely real. And whether it's male or female, we all should understand that life is a challenge. So as you have been so kind as to share with us some of the pain and heartache that you've had to deal with not only your maternal children, but even your foster child. And in keeping with the things you like to share with the young ladies in high school and middle school, and you as you share at no specific age, is there any advice that you would like to give to a young mother?
Yes, I want her to know that it's not her fault for being a young mother. First of all, what she needs to do is stay positive, knowing that she do have a future. She do have hope for her life, but she has to stay focused. She has to stay focused and she has to make sure her child is safe, make sure she stay uh, career bound, something positive to do for her life as far as keeping her credit good. Don't let no one veer you off and use you, for their benefit and mess you up for what you're trying to accomplish or succeed in life. You know, uh, get in programs to help you, because they offer startup jobs, for like the franchise tax. Um, they put you in job programs. Join in them. Anything that's available for you that's free, take it. Take it and run, because it's not like a put down and says you're needy, but yeah, you are. We're all needy. Okay, I'm needy, but if this is available for you, take it. They have childcare. Everyone talk about they don't want to put their child with someone until that child can talk in case something happens to them, but these places are bonded. You should know the difference between something happening to your child and not. But then again, if you do have family and you want to trust your family with your child, then do that. Go ahead, do that, and go and venture off. Take these programs, take these trainings, go to school, continue to get your degree, to get your diploma. You know, you got to look at you first. You're going to take care of your child, obviously, but look at you, your future. You want to have a car, you want to have a house, you want to have, a good career. If you want to own a business, do these things. They're out there. Just like Steve Harvey said, take that jump and do something positive. Don't think that you don't have it or you can't do it. There's no such word as can't. Stay
Wow,
positive.
very powerful. Carla, we have a young lady from Venezuela, and she listen, her name is Carla, and I want to invite her to come on and FaceTime. Although she can't see you, we'll see her if she grab one of these cameras. And she's saying, Carla is saying that you are certainly a brave woman. She's saying that unfortunately, having grown up most of her life without a strong mother figure, she wants to applaud you and give you a bouquet of roses. And that's Carla from Venezuela.
Okay, Carla.
So listen, it's been great, and I don't want to keep you half the night. If you have a parting comment that you'd like to share with us, please do so.
Yes. Is this for me?
Yes, it's for you.
Okay. I have some parting things. I was a young mother. I had my first baby in high school. No one taught me how to be a mother. No one taught me to make sure I get my diploma. No one taught me anything. I I had everything in my heart, in my gut, what I want to do for me or how I want to be and how I want to live. So, just to let you young ladies know, I had a baby, I got married, I graduated, and I moved out of my mom's house all in the same year. That was a lot. That was a lot.
Certainly was.
And yes, and I'm still I'm not throwing in the year. So, I don't want to give out my age, LOL. But I'm still, striving. I'm still striving for progress. But I think I came a long ways and I'm staying positive. Despite my surroundings, despite the failures, I'm staying positive and I'm staying strong. And I'm going to continue to do that until I succeed into what I want to have for my life.
Fantastic. Ms. Smart, I want you to know we really, really, really appreciate you taking the time to come up to Nobody Asked Me Guys show this evening. You have been phenomenal, and we want to say to you again is that we wish you only the best, and we want you to feel comfortable anytime you would like to contact us. We will certainly be in touch with you. And again, David and Carla were kind enough to post some questions up there for you. And I can't see all of the questions we have come from other venues. However, I just want to thank you very much. Now, I want to say to our audience this Friday, come back and join us again, 7 o'clock p.m. We have a very interesting guest that'll be with us. He's a retired airman. This is Patrick Dwayne Stewart, who I'm proud to say is one of my former students. And he's going to be talking about a lot of things with you. He's a very interesting young man. Now, for those individuals that would like to contact me, my website is under reconstruction right now, but it's www.dyingonmyfeet.com. You can contact me at my email address at the nobody asked me guy show at gmail.com. And our office number, which is 24-hour number, 440-935-0374. And again, guys, go out and get that book, Mothers and Their Men. It talks about all of these things that Smart has mentioned to you today. We have over 400 surveys to come in with that before writing that book. It's a phenomenal book. You can get that book from Barnes and Noble, or check our email, shoot us an email, go to that website, or call that number. So again, have a great and blessed evening. This is Smart. It's been a pleasure having you here, and we will definitely be staying in touch.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure to share, and I look forward to visiting you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great and blessed evening.
You too. Stay safe. Love you.
Love you too.